Templates are very easy to use in the My Portfolio tool. From your portfolio homepage, you simply need to click here in Portfolio Templates. You do need to have administrative access to create portfolio templates. So if you have instructors or faculty member that would like a particular template created so that they can then use that when they are assigning assigning portfolios to students to work on, they will be in the database. You would just need to work with them and help them get that created because you do need administrative access. Portfolios are fairly simple in terms of what a template can look like and what it can dictate to a student. It isn't going to be able to dictate what graphics to use or things like that. It really is meant to control the layout and give instructions to the student about what should go where. If you want to create a new template, you'll just use this Create Template button. But I'm going to go into one that I've already created in the past. You have the same types of options when you're working with a template in terms of editing it or viewing it to see what the instructions look like and things like that. And then you do have a few other options in terms of working within the template. But I'm just going to pop into the template in the edit mode. Now for this template, I'm assuming that a teacher would like to have a class on English composition, and they want the student to fill out their portfolio with some examples of writing a basic sentence or a basic paragraph, generally just following along with the assignments and what the student's going to be working on through the duration of the course. So this is just one possible example for the way you could use a template. But essentially, you're going to work with it the same way that you work in the editing window of your portfolio, except you can't add graphics or pictures. All you can do is you can dictate the layout, which includes which pages the student will have. And then for each section, you can add blocks to this template. And within the blocks, you can say, here's what the block should be labeled. And then I'm able to add some instructions into the template. And it's only going to be text. So in this case, I just typed in some directions for what to fill in for this particular block. I want them to type in their full name and add a photograph. And when I'm done typing, I will just click Save. You are able to move your blocks around here. If you use this drop-down window, you can tell a particular block where you want that section to move to. And if you change your mind, you can move it back. So aside from dictating the layout and telling students what blocks they need to have on each particular page, and then giving them some instructions, again, only in text, that's really the extent of what you can tell a student to add when they're building their portfolio through this template device. You can add footers to your template if you'd like, and you can give it a title, of course, for the template. And then when you're done, if you want to see how it looks, you'd click this Preview and Customize button, and it's going to show me, if I were to create a template, if I were to create a portfolio from this template, here is what the layout is going to look like. And then you can choose a style if you'd like to recommend a style for the student, but they will still have the ability to change the layout and the color of their portfolio if they want to. That's something that they'll control, whether they build a portfolio from a template or not. So I'll quickly show you the couple basic steps involved from creating a template from scratch. So as I mentioned, you're just going to use this Create Template button. It's going to take you to the initial settings screen. This is where you're going to give it a title. And I usually like to include a description so that when people are looking through the menu of templates that are available to choose from, they know what the template is meant to be used for. If you want to put any instructions, you can. And then you can decide if you want to allow people to comment on a portfolio that's made from this template or add their own additional pages to the template. If you really want to lock it down and not even let them add additional pages beyond what's defined in the template, you can't do that just by deselecting this here. And then in terms of whether you want to have a template available for people to use to create portfolios from, this is where you would set that up. I'll just click submit. Now, as I mentioned, it's very easy to create a template, and it's the same basic process as when you're creating a portfolio. That includes if you want to add sections, you use this plus button. For each section, you're going to give it a name. And as I showed you in a moment ago in the one I'd already created, whatever you call each section, that's going to be the title that the student has to use for each section of a portfolio created from a template. Okay, so that's, again, we can dictate to them what the sections are called, we can define the pages and give the pages names, and we can give them instructions for each section, and they'll see it as text. So when you're in this editing page, this does show you approximately what the template's going to look like to the student as they're filling it out. They'll just see these instructions above each section, and then they'll be able to go in and add their details and pictures and things like that to that particular section. Okay, so I'm inside of a classroom, and I just want to show you essentially how a template will work for a student perspective if they're going to be indeed creating a portfolio that was assigned to them within a course. So here I am at the assignment. I'm just going to go ahead and click on that, and it's going to pull up the typical assignment prompt, except for under assignment submission, it is going to say assign portfolio template, and there's the title of it, Vet Tech Portfolio. Now I have an option to create the portfolio right here and start working on it from the assignment, or if I have already used my template previously and I have built that portfolio out, I can select a portfolio to attach. So I don't have to create the portfolio here for the first time necessarily. You do get that option. But let's say this is my very first portfolio assignment for this course, and so I just want to go ahead and start working on it. So I click Create Portfolio. Again, it is designating that some of these blocks have been created for me. Just do a sample. Click Submit. As a first timer, it'll ask me, do you want to take a tour? If you've never used the portfolio tool, in this case, I'll say no thanks, I know what I'm doing. Now, here I am inside of my portfolio that I'm going to build based on the template that was created and connected to this portfolio. So as you can see, I've already got these predefined pages with titles for each block, and then it's going to have the section has already got a title for me, and then here are those instructions that you typed out. Oh, include your name, a favorite quote, and a photograph. So when I'm ready to start working on this section, I'll just click Edit, or really you just click in the block and it goes right into edit mode. And now here I am, I'm able to just go ahead and start building my section, and those instructions stay present for me to help guide me as I'm working my way through the creation of my portfolio based on this template that I was asked to use. So when I'm ready to turn it in, I just will go through that portfolio submission process. Again, just focusing on templates here as the topic, but that is just a very brief overview of how the template tool essentially works, how to create one. Again, you do need administrative access to make one, but once they're available, instructors and students have access to them to create their portfolios from. If you have any additional questions, please feel free to reach out to your customer success advocate or a solutions engineer or your Blackboard account rep if you need any additional assistance with how to use the template tool.